Today our topic is about actually we completed about we are discussing electricity. In that electricity we are talking we have so far we completed about charges and its properties, and also we completed about Coulomb's law, and also I given some problems related to Coulomb's law, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now we are going to learn about how to identify a charged body. Okay, so we can identify the charged body by using electroscope. Okay, so by using the electroscope, with the electroscope we can identify the charged body. Understand? So let's discuss about the electroscope. We have two types of electroscope. Understand? One is what pith ball electroscope, and next one is gold leaf electroscope. How these electroscopes are working, and what are the how can we use this electroscope to identify a charged body, whether the body is charged or not, we can identify by using these electroscopes. Understand? So first of all, what is the concept involved in this electroscope? Let us find. You know very well, if this is a positive charge and this is also positive charge, what going to be happen if these two positive charges? What happens if these positive charges is placed at some distance r? What going to be happen according to Coulomb's law? What happened according to Coulomb's law? According to Coulomb's law, the force between the charges will existed. When the force between the charges existed, because these two are positive charges, so when these two are positive charges, this charge will repel this direction, this charge is repulsed this direction, means between them repulsion takes place. Now the same thing for if it is negative charges, this is negative charges, this is negative charges, they are separated at a distance r. So here also what would be happen? Here also repulsion takes place. And next, if this is are similar unlike charges mean this is a positive charge, this is negative charge, separated distance, they will attract each other. So these concept will use for working of a electroscope. Understand? For working of the electroscope, these concept repulsion attraction concept we involved to make the electroscope. Here we have two types of electroscope. One is what? Pith ball electroscope. What? Pith ball electroscope. And next one is gold leaf electroscope. Gold leaf electroscope and pith ball electroscope. So now let's do how these two are working. We'll see now. First one is pith ball electroscope. So what is that? Pith ball electroscope. Pith ball electroscope. Pith ball electroscope. What is this pith ball electroscope? See, for the pith ball electroscope, it is having a stand. This is a stand. For this stand, a non-conducting hanger, we are hanging with this is a hanger. For this non-conducting hanger, we will take a string, the string also non-conducting. For the string, a metal, for the string, just a minute. Yeah. So here, for here, a ball, this is called pith ball. This pith ball is attached to this non-conducting string. Now this pith ball already having some charge. So the charge, let me take positive charge. This pith ball already electrified. I mean, this is having charge. This is the way the pith ball having the charge. Now any object I am taking here. Let us take some object. Assume that this object is in what shape? This object in a circular shape, and this object is not charged. When the object is not charged, when you are keeping this uncharged body at pith ball, what going to be happen? There is nothing will happen. Okay, that nothing will happen. Instantly you can't observe anything. Instantly, as soon as when you are placing this uncharged body near to the pith ball, no deflection takes place in the pith ball. Okay, instantly it can't give any deflection, it can't move anywhere. But as it is, if you keep which means that no deflections are giving instantly, it is telling that that is a uncharged body. Now if you keep a negative charged body, this is a negative charged body. When this is a negative charged body, this is having negative charge. When this is a negative charged body, if I place near to a charged body, I mean near to the pith ball, what going to be happen? This pith ball is moves towards this. I mean this will move towards pith ball will move towards this body. So we can conclude that when pith ball is moving toward this body, so finally what we can conclude? We can conclude that the object having negative charge. How you can say the object having a negative charge? Because as you know, this pith ball already having positive charge. When the pith ball having positive charge, now this pith ball is attracted to this body, so indirectly it is telling you this body has negative charge. Because between when you will get attraction, when two unlike charges, when unlike charges takes place, attraction is taking place. So already this pith ball having a positive charge, and the second one is obviously it would be a negative charge. That way we can find with a charged body. If no deflections, we can come to know that is a uncharged body. Deflection happened, but it is attracting, it is moving towards that object, it is indicating that negative charge. Now the same way if you take another body, so another body I am taking, but this body has negative charges. So this body is a negative charged body. When this body is a negative charged body, already done the negative charge, let me take positive charge. Now same body, but it has positive charges. When this body has positive charges, when you place this positive body, when you place this body near to this pith ball, the pith ball will move, deflect away from the object. So finally what we conclude, when pith ball is moving away from the body, so indirectly it is telling that is the body having positive charge, because between positive charges repulsion takes place. Already pith ball having positive charge, we will know already, and this is when you keep this body near to this charged pith ball, the pith ball will move away. It is indicating that the body acquires a positive charge. This is a way, by using this pith ball electroscope, we can identify a charged body, whether it is charged or uncharged. So by using this strategy we can define. Understand? And one more electroscope we have. The one more electroscope is gold leaf electroscope. Okay, one more electroscope is what? gold leaf electroscope. So let's start the gold leaf electroscope. Gold leaf. Gold leaf electroscope. What is this gold leaf electroscope? So in this gold leaf electroscope, we have a jar. We have a jar. In this gold leaf electroscope, we have a glass jar. So this is totally vacuum. So from this edge, sorry, let me draw somewhat nicely, neatly. This is a glass jar. This glass jar having a rubber cork, and from here you are having a rod, a conducting rod. So at the end of the conducting rod, you have gold leaves. You have gold leaves, and this is a metal body. This is a metal conductor. So this is the way metal sphere we have here, and this is a conducting rod, and for the conducting rod it is connected to gold leaves. The gold leaves, very thin gold leaves we have. Initially the gold leaves are having, side by side. The gold leaves are having side by side. When the gold leaves have, this is the structure actually. This is the structure. These gold leaves are present in the vacuum chamber. So glass bulb, glass container. So because to appear what happening inside, to appear we must use a glass jar here. After this thing, how can you identify a charged body? How can you identify a charged body? See, easily we can identify charged body. Let me take a rod here. If this rod is uncharged body, no charge is there. When you keep this rod to here, you keep this rod to near to this conducting sphere, what happens? Or else if you keep this rod here, touch this rod here, what going to be happen? This rod not having any charge. So when rod not having any charge, you cannot observe anything. So you can't possible. This gold leaf cannot observe anything. Now I am placing here a positive rod. When I am placing this a positive rod near to this, what happened? When you are placing the positive rod here, so the charges are reaching to this gold leaf. When the charges are reaching to the gold leaf, what going to be happen? This gold leaf will be deflected. So this is the way the gold leaf will expand. So this is the way the gold leaf will expand. So now gold leaf will expand. This is the way the edges, the gold leaves will expand. So when gold leaves are expanding, why the gold leaves are expanding? Because you supplied the electrons, you supplied the charge at this stage. When you supplied the charges at this stage, the charges are moving through this conducting rod, reaching to the gold leaf. So here positive charges are accumulated on the gold leaf. Here also positive charges are accumulated on the gold leaf. Two sides of the leaves are accumulated with positive charges. Due to the same kind of charges, repulsion takes place, so that gold leaf expands. So this is how we can identify whether the object is charged body or uncharged body. So but this here gold leaf, you are using the gold leaf means very costly. So we need to do with carefully. Understand? So this is how we can identify a charged body. Understand? And this is how, by using these two are normally generally used electroscopes. One is pith ball electroscope and one more is Goldilocks electroscope. Anywhere in among the two are working on based on the repulsion and attraction basis. When we like charges are repulsed, unlike charges are attracted. Based on the property only, these two Goldilocks and pith ball electroscopes are working. And next, after that, one more natural phenomena we have based on the electricity. The natural phenomena based on the electricity is called lightning. So the lightning, so let's talk about the lightning. So what is that lightning? The lightning. What is this lightning? Lightning. See here, lightning generally this is happened storms, across the storms, even rainy season will observe this lightning mostly. So what is this lightning? Why we are having this lightning? Let's see now. You know, when we are having the shower, when you are having the shower, so actually the shower happened because of the clouds. So inside the clouds we have charged, inside the clouds what we have? Water molecules we have. The water molecules are ionized because of the motion, because when clouds are moving due to the wind. The clouds are moving due to the wind, but inside the clouds we have water molecules. The water molecule due to the air friction, because the clouds are moving because of the wind. Due to the wind and the cloud inside the molecules gets ionized, means they will get charged. When they get charged, when the two clouds are interact each other, what going to be happen? Some charges will transfer from one cloud to another cloud. When the transfers of charges takes place between one cloud to another cloud, so it will actually huge number of charges are transferring from one cloud to another cloud. When huge number of charges are transferring from one cloud to another cloud, there is a lot of potential difference takes place. Because of that potential differences, even though the air between the clouds also will ionized. When air between the clouds also ionized, when transfer of charges are taking place, it appears as a lightning. So this is how, because of the electric charges, we are observing that phenomena lightning during the interchange of the charges between the clouds. So this is a great phenomena in our daily life. We will observe this beautiful lightning. Okay, if this lightning is reaching to the earth, the total charges entering into the earth and they will get nullified. So that we will observe the lightning. So this is what about lightning chapter. Lightning concept, simple concept. What is the simple concept here? Because of the transfer of charges between the clouds, we are having the lightning. Understand?
Yes, sir.
So here, and why the charges are present for the cloud? The charges are present in the cloud because of the drag force, because of the wind flow, wind resistance. The wind resistance will apply some force so that friction takes place between the clouds and the wind. Due to the friction, what happened? Some charges will existed or charges loses for the cloud, so that the cloud get chargified. After getting the charges, any two charged clouds interact each other because of the wind flow, the transfer of charges takes place. When the transfer of charges taking place, the air between the clouds also gets ionized. Due to that ionization, charges are transferring. When charges are transferring, that is appears as a lightning. So this is what lightning chapter, and I will give some problems based on this. Let's start the some questions on this. I'll give now. So the first thing is, yeah, is it no, it's not. Just a minute, let me share. Is it appearing to you? Yeah, I hope it is appearing. So now, let me do. If a body gains electrons, it loses dash charge. So now let's do some questions. If a body gains electrons, it loses dash charge. Negative charge or positive charge. Gaining the electron means it loses positive charges. Okay. Next, the SI unit of electric charges. The SI unit of electric charge is coulomb. Next, the materials that are the materials that allow larger currents to flow through them are called conductors, insulators, semiconductors. Actually, based on the charge flow, based on the conduction of the charge, materials have divided 4 types. Let's talk about these materials also, very important. So first one is conductors. Next one is insulators. Third one is semiconductors. And fourth one is superconductors. Here, if you talk about conductors, the conductors are the materials are allowing to pass the charges through in it. The conductors are the materials or substances that are allowing to charges pass through it are known as freely they will pass the charges. Those are known as conductors. Next, insulators means the conductor which are not allowing the charges pass through in it are known as insulators. Next, what about the semiconductors? Semiconductors are the materials are partially allowing the charges are known as semiconductors. Superconductors also one kind of conductors, they are not offering any resistance. Those are nothing but superconductors. Superconductors means having zero resistance. The materials having zero resistance are known as superconductors. Next, now in this case, the materials that allow large current to flow, current means charge flow, through them are known as conductors. So answer is what? First option. The materials that do not allow electric current to pass through them are called insulators. Insulators even you can call non-conductor. So D option will come. Next, the materials which pass electric current partially through them are called semiconductors. Good conductors having many loosely bound atoms, protons, here electrons, the answer is electrons. The plastic coating over the copper wire is called conduction, insulation, induction, none of these. So the answer is insulations. Because of the insulations, if you coated a plastic coat over the copper wire, because plastic coating is a non-conducting body, so even though if any, when the current is passes through the conducting body, if you have a coating, we can handle understand. So because that is the advantage of the plastic coating on the copper wire. Next, electric charge on a body produces magnetic field only, electric field only, both A and B, both none of this. So here only it will produces electric field. An electric charge on a body produces electric field. Actually, the charges will produces magnetic field as well as electric field, but here the thing is, when the charge is at rest position, then it only produces electric field. The charge is at rest position, only produces electric field. The same charge if it is in motion, the same charge if it is in motion, it will produce a magnetic field as well as electric field. But the same charge when it is accelerated, it will produce magnetic field, electric field, some radiations also. So this is a small part related to this topic. And next, let's talk about the next questions. So remaining questions are the process in which two bodies are rubbed against each other so that the charges are transferred from one body to another body. So actually, what is the process name? The process.
Charged by friction, sir.
Yeah, charged by friction. Where is that? The
Yes, sir.
A. Next, the process in which a body is charged by contact with another charge.
Charged by conduction.
Charged by conduction. Very good. The process in which a body is charged by the presence of another charged body without contact. Without contact, so that
Sir, convention.
not convention, charged by induction. Okay. So this is the topic for today. Okay. In the coming classes, we'll discuss another part. So you can try another related these sums. We'll go for the next concept. Okay, na? For today, we'll stop the session. Bye.